Alright guys, you're back on the National SCSDA News live stream presented by Good Vibrations Motorsports. We're getting ready for Fast 4 semifinals. It's going to be Chris Lawford in the near lane, Lance Kaina over on the far side. So the winner on the last one was Lance K over on the far side. He ran a 3:00 to Lawford's 2:93. So a whole shot win for Lance K, and he's moving on to the finals in the Fast Fours class. So next up, it's going to be Robert Skidmore. With the single run. Fortunately, Daniel King is unable to make the call. So here comes Skidmore up to the line. Not sure if he's going to run it out or take it easy here. So Robert Skidmore, 287. Nice lap for Skidmore. He'll have lane choice going into the final round against Lance K for the Fast Fours class this weekend. So awesome semi-final round there. So it'll be Robert Skidmore and Lance K going at it here in just a few minutes. Well, not a few minutes, but an hour or so. So up next is going to be the Top Fuel final round. They're going to water the track, get it all cleaned up, and Top Fuel will be out Dennis Reich and Matthew Ludlow. So you're watching the National SCSDA News live stream presented by Good Vibrations Motorsports. Be sure to let everybody know Top Fuel finals coming up next. Be sure to like and share. Okay guys, we're getting ready for the top fuel final round here at the 2017 SCSDA Hammer Down Nationals. Yep, Chris Loffer lost on a hole shot on that one to Lance K. It was a 3 flat to a 293. Unusual for Chris to miss the tree like that. He's a killer driver, but I'm sure the Paradise team will be back. Looking forward to seeing them hit the track again. They always put on a good show here. So we're at the Soboba Casino in San Jacinto, California for the 2017 SCSDA Hammer Down Nationals. And you're watching the National San Diego News live stream presented by Good Vibrations Motorsports. And right now we're getting ready for the top fuel final round. The crew's out there on the starting line, checking the track out. Not sure which lanes they ended up with. Dennis Reich, he has the lane choice here. The Hammer Down Hemi top fuel dragster. Oh, looks like Marcus Norris is back in the lanes also. He's going to make a test pass with his car. Marcus actually had low ET of the first round with a 226, so we'll see what he can do the second time around. So right now we are at, we got first round of the pro bracket classes in. So they're getting loaded in the lanes for round 2. So round 2 of the pro brackets will be up after we get through with the heads up session. We just finished the Fast Fours semifinals, so they're down to the final round. They'll be back in an hour or so for their final. So we have top fuel final round coming up, top alcohol final round coming up, semifinals, and top eliminator. And then we'll be back to the pro bracket classes. We'll try to show you guys some pro bracket eliminations here in a little bit as well. Had some really good action in the pro 1, 2, 3 classes earlier. In round 1, saw a few big upsets. Everybody's going for a big purse this weekend. Top eliminator, well, top alcohol, top eliminator, Fast Fours. Pro 1, Pro 2, and Pro 3 all running for $2,000 to win today. Motorcycle Pro 1 and Motorcycle Pro 2 going for $1,500 to win. So certainly some decent change on the line. High stakes, and we'll see who can get the job done. Final coming up next. So here we go. It's going to be the top fuel final round. Dennis Reich and Matthew Ludlow. Sam, you know what? Chris Pintor, I do not believe he's still in. I did not see him go down the track first round, so I don't think he was in the pro class today. So it's going to be Dennis Reich over here on the near side in the Hammer Down Hemi Top Fuel Dragster out of Carlsbad, California. He'll be up against Matthew Ludlow and the Coldwater Kid Top Fuel Dragster, sponsored by Arizona Air Compressor and FS Curtis. The whole crew there getting them ready. Coldwater Kid crew over there. Hammer Down team over here. Dennis with the using his Dune Jeep for the tow vehicle. His sweet Larry Minor Motorsports built Jeep, flying the U.S. Marines flag high. Very cool. So here we go, Dennis Reich near lane, Matthew Ludlow far lane, top fuel final round. This side. Oh, no, 246. So your top fuel final Dennis Wright got the win over on the left side. 229. So 229 was the number for Dennis Wright. 229. Nice run for the Hammer Down team. Their best of the weekend. So Dennis Wright is your top field winner this weekend at the Hammer Down Nationals. 229, 246 for Matthew Ludlow over on the far side. So 246 at 151 for Ludlow. 229 is the winning number for Dennis Wright in the Hammer Down top field dragster.
Absolutely. How about it, sir? He's asking.
So great job by Dennis and the whole crew there. 229. So here comes Marcus Norris. He's going to make a test pass here in the Pat Norris Racing top field dragster. The Worldwide Insurance Services, the whole team there. So Marcus is going to make a hit. They actually had low ET around 1 with a 226, but came up a little short on a hole shot. So we'll see what Marcus can do here. This team is really coming around. They've been putting down some great numbers. We'll see what they can do on this one. But what a run. Dennis Wright, 229, your top field winner this weekend. Great job, Dennis and the whole team there. So we're just waiting for the top end to clear. And we'll have Marcus Norris make a test hit here in the Pat Norris Racing top field dragster. Team out of Phoenix area. Excellent run for Marcus Norris there, 229. Great run for Marcus and Pat, the whole team there, 229 in the heat of the day. Excellent run. They definitely got the tune-up figured out, so awesome job for them on that test hit. So great to see the Pat Norris team out here. Marcus, Pat, Chris, the whole crew there. They did a great job this weekend.
Man, we got a crowd here today. Glad to have you guys on here as usual.
So that'll be it for Top Fuel for the weekend, and we're going to switch gears and get ready for Top Alcohol final round here in just a few moments. You're watching the National Sand Drag News live stream presented by Good Vibrations Motorsports at the Soboba Casino in San Jacinto, California. Here comes the equipment out to groom the track. We'll be back in a few minutes with Top Alcohol final round.
She got her shirt. Let her pick out. What's up? Never buy clothes for a woman, right? All right. Let them pick it out. You're very welcome. Are you racing in our junior class this weekend or anything? Are you racing in the junior class? She does? What's that? You ride the Banshee? Oh, very cool. All right, glad to have you guys out here running our junior program. Once again, anybody else want to get into the junior program? We always handle that. I said, anybody else? What size shirt do you wear? That's what we go by. Nope, you're not a junior. You a Hammond? You racing with Jerry Baxter too, don't you? Listen, we'll tell Grandpa, bring over some team shirts so we can give them out to everybody else. Huh? We want some team shirts from Jim. Grandpa Jim. Tell Grandpa Jim, bring us some shirts. All right, folks, we're going to have a little fun up here. We're done. It's dark. Told you. Anybody done any defibrillators in the house, we're going to need one. Joey Graham, almost 300 feet. Well, let's see. Fast-paced walk. What do we got? Well, we're going to find out. You know one thing I don't got? My voice. So, Pro 1's still in the lane. Absolute top alcohol. Top end, we still have a few races to go here before we finish up the big cars. Round out our weekend. Second hammer down. finish up this is track work. If you get done with that, you're going to get back just a minute. Make sure I know it's on. One more time, if you did not get one of those very large high-card shirts, you might want to go get your own back. This is free from free time.
Close now to the final round for tap alcohol. We're at the Soboba Casino in San Jacinto, California. Jim Hammond coming up here in the near lane in the April Stream tap alcohol dragster. Jim will be up against Jake Morton from Morton Racing. Jake Morton was your ¡1 qualifier this weekend with a 261. First round, Jim Hammond actually had the better ET, the best round of the weekend with a 253. Morton ran a 61, so Jim had the lane choice and picked the left lane. Oh, it should be an interesting final round. Jim Hammond on the near lane, Jake Morton in the far lane. Top alcohol final. Be sure to like and share, let everybody know top alcohol final is up right now. After this, we're going to go to the top Eliminator semifinals. And then we'll stay live for some pro bracket racing right after that. Alright. They're giving the signal to start up. Right lane with the win. So Jake Morton takes the win there. Unfortunately, I don't know, we lost our announcer for a minute, so let me find out what the numbers are. So Jake Morton in the far side took the win. He went 255, his best pass of the weekend. Got by Jim Hammond's 262 over here on the near side. So Jake Morton over in the far lane took the win in the top alcohol final today here at the Soboba Casino in San Jacinto, California. Great job by the whole team. Jake and Garth, Bob, the whole team over there, David. Those guys do a great job. Pretty much the only converter-driven car here in top alcohol class on the West Coast right now, and they know how to make it work, so pretty cool deal. We'll see them up at Avenal at the next race, October 20th through 22nd for the Avenal Sand Drags Fall Nationals. We'll be there with coverage from that event. Yeah, every once in a while we may not get a shot of the whole track. I can't really see the screen too well when I move it. The sunshine and all that, you know. But yeah, Tony, we just ran the Top Fuel final, and they just finished up for the weekend, so no more nitro cars. Dennis Reich took the win with a 229 over Matthew Ludlow. So Dennis Reich, your Top Fuel winner today. Jake Morton, your top alcohol winner. Your final round for Fast Fours will be Lance K versus Robert Skidmore. And the top eliminator semifinals are in the lanes. They will be up next. We'll have Ron DeArtney against Paul Graham and Paul Taylor versus Billy Morris in the top eliminator semifinals. Be sure to check out our friends at Good Vibrations Motorsports. You're the presenting sponsor of this weekend's National Sand Drag News live stream. Be sure to go to goodvibesracing.com or at Good Vibrations Motorsports on Facebook for all they have to offer. Yeah, Jeff, I'm gonna stay live for round 2 of the pro bracket classes up next. So we'll have the pro brackets up here in just a little bit, Pro 1, 2, 3. So we're at top eliminator semis, and then we're going to Pro 1. Pretty big field in the Pro 1 class. I believe there was like 20 cars or so in that. Kind of an unusually high number for out here, so a lot of guys going for the $2,000 to win prize. And here comes the tractors back this way. Top E semifinals, 295 index class. See who can get the job done. Long live the converter. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Morton team in the converter deal is working out really, really well. They actually aren't running a Hemi either. They got an Alan Johnson 481X motor in that. So they're running a pretty unique combination, and it seems to work really well. Not the real life tractor races like we've seen in Kentucky, but they're tractor races of some sort. All right, top eliminator coming out next. up first is going to be your number 1 qualifier, Paul Graham, in the excavator blown buggy. He'll be up against Ron DeArtney in the Red Warrior dragster. Last round, Graham won 296. DeArtney ran 297. So they've both been running right on the number. We'll see who can get the better reaction time and turn on the wind light. You're right, Kyle. The West Coasters definitely don't know about the tractor races. That was one of the most interesting experiences I've ever had in sand drags. That was very interesting. Quite entertaining as well. Graham in the near lane, Ron DeArtney in the far lane. And the wind light to the left lane. Paul Graham turning on the wind light. Fortunately, we have no idea what the numbers are, as we have lost our announcer, so Paul Graham will move on to the final round to face the winner of the next pair.
So what happened? All that was gone? Huh? Going. All one again? That's what I'm hearing? Man, check that out. 295 with a 0. Qualified number 1. Look around. There's 0 right here. Soboba, hammer down that one. Wow, check that out. Paul Graham, hockey, I told you.
So Paul Graham won that last pair with a 2.950. Dead on with the 0 for Paul Graham. We move on to the next round. Oh, it's going to be Paul Taylor in the near lane, Billy Morris in the far lane. All right, so Billy Morris on the far side got the win. I've been trying to hear what the numbers were. Paul Taylor went 96 here on the left side and got beat on a hole shot. So I saw Billy burp it down at the other end. Not sure what the numbers were. But Billy Morris is going to the final round against Paul Graham in top eliminator. So Billy Morris going to the final against Paul Graham in top eliminator here today. Now we're getting ready for the Pro 1 round 2 eliminations. We'll stay live through this round of the pro bracket classes, and then we'll come back for some final round stuff for those guys, as well as Fast Fours and top eliminator. So you're watching the National Sand Drag News live stream presented by Good Vibrations Motorsports. We're at the Soboba Casino in San Jacinto, California for the 2017 SCSDA Hammer Down Nationals. We've had some great action here this weekend. We saw Dennis Reich take the top fuel win a few minutes ago, 229 ET. Jake Morton took the top alcohol win with a 255 over Jim Hammond. And then we'll have a final round coming up fairly soon with Billy Morris and Paul Graham in top eliminator, and then Lance K versus Robert Skidmore in the Fast Fours class. Well, tractors are making the turn down there as we get ready for Pro 1 round 2 eliminations. $2,000 to win today. We saw some upsets in round 1. Yesterday's Pro Gambler winner, Chris Wells, lost a close one to Moises Roano in Pro 1, round 1. And Keith Ahart came up short against Ron Moran. So Keith and Chris are both guys that would be expected to be in the late rounds. So unfortunately, they were unable to advance to round 2. I'd have to agree. Paul Graham with his dead on 0 lap, definitely hard to beat in top eliminator. So he's made 4 laps down the track. A 95 with a 7, a 95 with a 5, a 96, and a 95 with a 0. Pretty killer weekend for Paul Graham and the excavator. Of the Pro 1 class, it's going to be Tommy Zavala in the near lane and the Zavala and Sons Racing Dragster up against Wes Johnson in the far lane for Wes Johnson snap on. Jeep over on the far side. Pro 1's 374 and faster dial in. Tommy Zavala over here on the left side. Looked like he killed the tree on that one. That was an excellent light, and he turned that into a win. But next up, Nick Schultzman over on the far side. That Jeep is for sale. Up against Kevin Cambridge over here on the near side. Rare mistake for Kevin Cambridge there, and Nick Schultzman will move on to the next round. Really good showing for Nick over there as he goes to round 3. Here comes Craig Turning over here in the new team, the Jeep here on the near side. Up against Ron Moran, Wild American, Lone Dragster. Light to the near side, Craig Durning. He's moving on to round number 2. Nice lap. Get out of it a little early. Went 371. So the next round, Kenny Hayes, far side, out of Buckeye, Arizona. Gets Moises Ruano out of Mexicali in the Ford pickup. That thing is an awesome truck right there. Running Pro 1 here, dial 374. So Moises Ruano, near lane, Kenny Hayes in the far lane. And that one goes to the far lane. Kenny Hayes turning on the wind light. He went 364 on the 360 dial. Saw him burp it down there at the other end. So a nice lap for Kenny Hayes. He'll go on to the next round in Pro 1. Here comes Mike Jack in the Suddenly Broke drag. Mike out of Rio Rancho, New Mexico. .47 with a 0 on the 347 dial. Very nice lap for Mike Jack. He's adapted well to the car life, I'll tell you. Mike is best known for his wild two-wheeled motorcycle with a giant super scooper on the back. He raced that for years and years, traveled across the country with it. He won pretty much anywhere he raced it. But he switched to a car he bought Keith Ahart's old second Urge dragster. And is doing quite well. He's down to round number 3 today in the Pro 1 class. So there goes the tractors. And we'll clean the track up. We'll come back with Pro 2 action. You're watching the National Standard News live stream presented by Good Vibration Motorsports. We're at the Soboba Casino in San Jacinto, California. So hang on just a few moments here and we'll be back with Pro 2, round number 2 action. Guys, here we go. Round number 2 coming around the corner. It's gonna be Bill Brown out of the Albuquerque, New Mexico area up against Jim Lahr. There, but your win light went to the right lane on that one, Jim Lahr. We'll move on to the next round of Pro 2. Ethan Adamson turning on the wind light over on the far side in the Rape Tape Jeep. He's going on to the next round. So now comes the bye run. Saw Tommy Zavala with the single earlier at a racer break. Wasn't able to make the call, so now it'll be Mike Williams Sr. over here on the near side with the bye run. And the White Lightning Jeep. He's going to come over close to us here. Mike Williams Sr., 396. Moving on to the next round in Pro 2. So we're rolling jackers again. And so we're going to clean the jack for Pro 3. Second round eliminations coming up. So you're watching the National Sandray News live stream presented by Good Vibrations Motorsports. We're at the Soboba Casino in San Jacinto, California. At the SCSDA Hammer Down National, so sitting here track side waiting for the jet to get cleaned up. We're over here on the, I should say, the south side of the track. Got a nice area for spectators or whatever to drive their vehicles up and park along the track over on this side. Over back on the other side of that big bank you see back there, there's like a big reservoir wash thing over there for when they have storms and whatnot. They're getting their water over there. You see the water truck filling up. And the staging lanes are over there. There's pretty much one set of lanes for each class, so everybody just kind of loads up in there and it's time to go. And then as you can see over there, pit area. A lot of pit area over there. Actually, that's not even the only pit area. There's probably 4 rows of trailers over there in that section. Then as you can see along the track, there's your see the race control trailer over there, and then there's your spectator area up on the bank. Back behind the spectator area is a bunch of vendors selling food and shirts and whatnot. And then out in that area, back behind like the food vendor area, there's some pit parking there, and then down at the end of the track, off to the right, on the north side there's a lot of pit parking out there. And then if you go further out that way, straight out that way, is the casino. So the casino's out there. It's a giant parking lot and a casino, which they're actually building a new casino, which will be way down there, probably about 1.5 miles down there. Will be the new casino and hotel being built at Soboba. Yeah, you would, yep. Plenty of shutdown. When you can lose brakes on a top fuel car and stop without crashing, yep, there's definitely a lot of shutdown. So, pretty neat facility here at the Soboba Casino. This venue's been in operation, well, they started running here in 2006. So it's really an ideal setting for 300-foot sand drag racing. So we're getting back after it with Pro 3, round number 2. Joe Simeon coming out here in the near lane. Ron Hess in the Mad Mouse over on the far side. Neat little Fiat Topolino over there. It's Joe Simeon side to Joe Simeone, getting the job done. Far side, we got the Maximum Diesels team. I'm not sure if Russ is driving this one or one of his buddies. And up against Robin Costello. Big black power in the Robin seat. The Midnight Caper. To Robin Costello over here on the near side. Moving on to round number 3 in the Pro 3 category. Diesel truck broke out running a 552 on a 568 dial. So here comes today's top fuel winner, Mr. Dennis Reich in his hammer down bracket Jeep. Loving doing some bracket killing there in the old hammer down ride. Dennis has been on his game this weekend. He went to the semis in the Friday Night Pro Gambler. And here he is. Looks like he's got either a bye or a single here in Pro 3 round 2. Dennis got a big break on that one. It stumbled when he brought it up on the brake, but he was on a buy run, so ended up working out okay. They'll go on to the next round. Moises Roano here on the near side, up against Rocky Randolph. Moises entered this truck in all 3 bracket classes today. He's in Pro 1, 2, and 3. And Moises is going to get the job done. He's in Pro 2 and Pro 3 still. Unfortunately, Rocky Randolph had a little stage foul issue there. He brought it up on the brake, and then the car never stopped. So he rolled through the beams. So it looks like we got a buy run now. So Dennis must have been a single. So it's going to be Austin Thomas. Austin Thomas with a single run here, a buy run here. So 438 on a 440 or 438 on a 435 for Austin Thomas, and he's moving on to the next round in Pro 3. Hey, I just spun it around. You got my cord untangled. That's pretty good. So, all right, we're gonna clean the track and come back with the ATV class, Motorcycle Pro 1 and Motorcycle Pro 2. Here at the Soboba Casino, San Jacinto, California. You're watching the National Sand Drag News live stream presented by Good Vibration Motorsports. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Alright, the bikes are firing up over in the lanes. Motorcycle Pro 1's coming out. It looks like we got, I believe that's Colt Foy will be in the near lane. And I believe that's Robert Garnis over on the far side. And the win on the far side, Robert Garnis. Next up, it's J-Dub, Joey Weaver, up against Heather Taylor. Joey Weaver over here on the near side takes the win. Grant Hutchinson coming up right now on the near side up against Taylor Holmes. And the win light to the near side, Grant Hutchinson moving on to the next round. We're going to switch to Motorcycle Pro 2. Randy Means near lane, Marcus Rydell far lane. And the win, Randy Mings, over here on the near side. Randy Mings moving on to round number 3. What we got going on here, but we got a little hang up. Alright guys, well you're watching the National San Diego News live stream presented by Good Vibrations Motorsports. We've been watching some pro bracket action here. So we're going to actually take a break here for a little bit, and we'll be back for the final round of Top Eliminator Fast Fours, and we'll be sure to show you some late round action of the pro bracket classes. So we're going to take a break here for probably, I don't know, 15-20 minutes or so. I see the Fast Fours rolling into the lanes, and then we'll be back. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and be sure to check the Facebook page, and we should be back live here, like I said, 15-20 minutes, maybe a half hour, somewhere in that range. Thanks guys.